please set up realistic expectations. You might have looked at Jeff Seid from years ago and said, I want to look like that. Even Jeff Seid can't look like Jeff Seid. He just tried. Think of it. Jeff Seid can't look as good as he did from several years ago. Coach Greg, in today's video, Jeff Seid has lost all of his gains. Jeff Seid, one of the most famous fitness models of all time, he's recently posted a physique update. One paper cut and it's all over. And he's posted several physique updates, and what you can see is the guy is totally shredded. Clearly single-digit body fat, perhaps 7 or 8%, looking amazing. However, he's not looking quite as amazing as he once was. Notice the shreds, the definition, the vascularity in particular in his legs. But if you compare his old photos, that of him from 10 years ago until today, you will see he's significantly downsized. And so as soon as I saw these photos, I thought, this is representative of somebody who's 100% natural, who's going on a diet. And so in these current photos, I do believe that Jeff is 100% natural. Now, you may remember in the past I made a natty or not on Jeff Seid, and in it I discussed that I did in fact believe he was not natural. But that was then. I believe that he got to the size, the definition that he once had, in particular when he was only a teenager in his early 20s, and that he attained that physique by taking something. I didn't think he took a lot. I'm not saying he was blasting test and trend, but I don't believe that he was 100% natural. And so if he was taking PDs in the past and then stopped and tried to do the same cut as he once did, he's going to notice extremely different results. And so I think it goes out saying that 99.9% of people looking at this physique would trade it in a heartbeat. He looks incredible, but I'm not arguing that he looks incredible. What I'm arguing is that he does not have as much muscle now as he once did. Now remember, he's not 48, he's not 60. The guy is still a very young man. And last I checked, when you progressive overload and you train, you put in the years of hard work, you over time build more muscle, not less. Now, if he were in his 50s like The Rock, it would make sense that he would have lost a lot of his muscle. But he's not. He's still very, very young. You lost your size. Why? 'Cause I'm cooking shredded, bruh. And is it in fact possible that he would have lost a tremendous amount of muscle while dieting? Absolutely. If you're in too great of a calorie deficit, you're trying to lose fat too quickly, or you get to single-digit body fat and your testosterone levels begin to go down, you absolutely are going to lose muscle. But I think what he lacks to point out here is that if he dieted while being natural versus dieted while being enhanced, you would see a night and day difference in the end result. If Jeff Seid were to have done a cycle while doing this diet, the end physique would have been what you expected, the way he once looked, or perhaps even better. You do not suddenly lose all your muscle in your mid-20s just because you go on a diet. You are going to have muscle memory, you're going to keep that size, and yeah, you're not going to build as much, and you might lose a little bit, but you're not going to see a massive difference in size, such as you see right here. That's what happens, bro. I went from 193 super lean to 158 super shredded. And so if you over diet, you're just going to lose muscle. It's not good. You have to know when to call it quits. If you're getting to 11% body fat and you're saying, no, I need to keep going, I need to get more shredded. And as you get more shredded, you drop 10 pounds, but you don't see a very significant change in your body composition, what you're doing is you're now losing muscle. It's time to call it quits. If you feel like you're losing size, you don't have energy, you have brain fog, you're perhaps losing your libido, you need to eat more calories. Not to mention how hungry you're going to be, the ghrelin that's released making you want to eat, and so it can be very miserable to be this lean. I'm not jealous. I see Jeff in his videos since 2012. I idolize Jeff. People comparing him to a few years back, he was leaner and bigger and truly shredded. But that's what happens when you don't make your egg whites extra saucy. No hate. Wish to see him competing again. And so my opinion of all this, I think it's admirable that Jeff Seid would go and diet, get shredded while doing it 100% natural. I think that he's showing people this is what you can actually expect in the real world. Far too often we see guys like Sam Sulek, for example, going on a diet, getting shredded, winter bulk, winter cut, and so on. And he has so much muscle and you're thinking, wow, I could look like that if I go on a diet. But the problem is you can't. How many people, perhaps 1 in a million, look like Sam after a cut? And you really think that can happen when being natural? Really, people? And so please set up realistic expectations. You might have looked at Jeff Seid from years ago and said, I want to look like that. Even Jeff Seid can't look like Jeff Seid. He just tried. Think of it. Jeff Seid can't look as good as he did from several years ago. And he's not an old man. It's not as if he's so old that his testosterone levels are in the toilet. Imagine if Jeff Seid made a video or came out and publicly spoke about what he had taken back in his old competitive days. Imagine if he said, hey, guess what, people? I was actually not natural. I was taking SARMs, I was taking Anavar, I was taking tests, whatever he was taking. And said, that allowed me to have all of those muscles, but eventually I regretted it. I didn't think I should take it. It was perhaps giving me body dysmorphia. And so what I decided to do right now is be the best version that I can without using performance-enhancing drugs. And this is my physique. And no, it's not as impressive as it once was, but it's still freaking amazing. And so looking down, let's begin by analyzing his legs. Look at the vascularity, shredded everywhere. However, you don't see cross striations in his quads. If he were truly shredded, for example, 5% body fat, you would see cross striations going up and down on the quads. Looking at his stomach, you can see the full six-pack, the obliques. However, they're not dry. But he doesn't have that crystal sharp dryness that you would see from somebody perhaps taking Masterone, Primo, Trend, Winstrol, and so on. Examine the upper body. Notice the lack of width in the shoulders in comparison to years past. When you're a bodybuilder, you're looking for that X-frame, very wide shoulders, down to the small waist and flaring thighs. But you can see his shoulders are of moderate width. He doesn't have outlandishly wide shoulders. He has a small waist, but his legs, they don't flare out like they once did. And if you examine the chest, although they're slightly full, they don't have several different striations. He doesn't look truly shredded. He doesn't look like the Hulk doing a most muscular pose. And with the hands over the head, you can see in some of these poses, he has great abs. But in others, you can barely see the outline of the abs. But remember, this is all due to the timing of the photograph being taken. If he hasn't blown out all of his air, you're not going to see the abdominals. And so just because he's in the classic Jeff Seid pose doesn't mean you're going to see all that definition. When you competed, you had less fat percentage, but had more size, question mark. And so I think it's a fair assessment to say that he has in fact been leaner than this in the past with even more size. And so if he can't do it now, how could he have done it previously with fewer years of training? Like, really put your thinking caps on. How is it possible that with less training, he had more muscle and less body fat than he does now with more training? The older you get to a point, you're going to be able to put on more size and even have more muscle maturity. Yet he looked better, had more size and was leaner years ago. And so to me, unlike Jeff Nippard and Mike Israetel saying, hey, there's no real value in doing natty or knots, I in fact believe there is a lot of value. I'm doing it. This essentially is a natty or knot on Jeff Seid right now, and I'm saying this is natural Jeff here. Years ago, that was enhanced Jeff. Can you see the difference? Can you see that if you have expectations to look like Jeff Seid from yesteryears, in comparison to how he looks right now, you could see how you might be setting yourself up for failure. And so looking at how Jeff looks now, it's still inspirational, it's still motivating, he still has an amazing physique, it's just more attainable than freaking last time. You get it? I think telling people what they can achieve natural versus enhanced, I think it's going to do more positive than it's going to do bad. I think it's important for people to know these are the limits of your body. Do not expect to get too much, because if so, you're going to be disappointed, and that's when you will resort to taking performance-enhancing drugs. You're thinking, oh, I can't wait to put on 20 pounds of muscle, I just started training. And then you put on 5 and you're thinking, what is wrong with me? I need to take steroids. And so rather than that, if you thought, hey, 5 pounds is great, I'm going to keep going, I'm going to keep doing this for 10 years, perhaps you would have stayed natural. And so I think personally that natty or knots are in fact a good thing in the fitness industry. I understand that we're speculating. I don't have proof of anything I'm saying. I'm just giving you my opinion, but I do think my opinion matters, and I'm hoping that this video helped. Looking to put on more muscle natural? Consider G-test. If you're dieting and not eating enough calories, you could have lower levels of testosterone. This can help boost your testosterone levels to being higher than last time. Also, GO2 Max and Ecti Builder, you're looking for more endurance. Remember, NMN is the main ingredient. Please do your research. You'll see exactly why so many people are using it and why this is my #1 selling supplement. Ecti Builder, of course, 100% natural, make a difference in your size, your pumps. You're going to feel the difference. Please consider using Coach Greg supplements from Harder Than Last Time. If interested, click the link in the description, and don't forget to enter code Greg for 10% off. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it. Please watch one of those 2 bloops. And of course, the cookbooks, the training books, the Circle diet book. You can also get Harder Than Last Time clothing line on the website and coaching plans by me and my team. And until next time, I am out.